Right now, African leader Ibrahim Traoré is making headlines across the globe. You've likely seen his photos or videos circulating on social media. For the first time in decades, Africa has a leader who is not only boldly speaking out for the rights of his people, but also exposing the injustices of powerful nations like the US, UK, and France. Russian President Vladimir Putin even remarked that Ibrahim Traoré could soon become one of the most influential Muslim leaders in the world. On social media, many are even comparing him to legendary Muslim figures like Salahuddin Ayyubi. One of Traoré's first actions after coming to power was to expel the French military from his country. He's also been outspoken in his criticism of Israel and its allies over the Gaza issue. But that's not all. Embracing his African heritage, Traoré draws a powerful parallel between himself and Hazrat Bilal al-Habashi, a revered figure in Islamic history. Through this, he sends a strong message to Muslims around the world. You are not orphans. You are not alone. In today's report, we'll take you through the full story of Ibrahim Traoré and explore why he could emerge as the most powerful leader in the Muslim world in the coming years. To truly understand his journey, we need to go back in time. About 36 years ago, in 1988, Ibrahim Traoré was born into a middle-class family in the small village of Kera, in Burkina Faso. From a young age, he had a deep passion for joining the military. Driven by this ambition, he enlisted in Burkina Faso's National Army. As time went on, Traoré also served in the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Mali. His bravery and strong leadership during that period earned him recognition as one of the most visionary military generals of his generation. But everything changed in 2022, a turning point in his life that suddenly thrust him into the global spotlight. Yes, that's right. In September 2022, Ibrahim Traoré, along with a group of fellow soldiers, led a military coup that removed then-interim President Paul-Henri Damiba from power. At just 34 years old, Traoré became the president of Burkina Faso. But the big question is, why did this coup happen? And what led Ibrahim Traoré to take such a bold step? To understand that, you need to know a bit about Burkina Faso, a small country in West Africa that has been plagued by terrorism for years. Extremist groups like ISIS and al-Qaeda have been active in the region, and the civilian toll has been devastating. Between 2020 and 2022 alone, over 4,000 people were killed in terror attacks, and nearly 2 million were displaced from their homes due to violence and fear. In 2022, public anger boiled over as Damiba's government failed to tackle terrorism, poverty, and unemployment. People took to the streets. It was at this critical moment, when Traoré saw his nation falling apart, that he stepped forward and took charge. Traoré promised that he would fight terrorism and free Burkina Faso from foreign control. But was that mission really so simple? Not quite, because for years, France held significant influence over the country. On paper, Burkina Faso was an independent nation, but in reality, its natural resources, especially its vast gold reserves, were largely controlled by France, which was making huge profits from them. Meanwhile, only about 10% of that wealth actually reached the people of Burkina Faso. Recognizing this injustice, one of Traoré's first actions as president was to expel France from the country. At the time, French troops were stationed in Burkina Faso, and France, considered a global power, was not expected to back down easily. But Traoré made his stance clear. If France did not withdraw its military presence, he would be ready for war. Reportedly, French President Emmanuel Macron did not want to get entangled in a conflict in Burkina Faso. He chose not to confront Traoré's forces, and as a result, France quietly pulled its troops out of the country. After France's exit, Traoré knew that if he was going to stand up to global powers like the United States and the United Kingdom, he would need to strengthen ties with Russia. So, he extended a hand of friendship to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin responded positively. Not only did he offer support, but he also publicly praised Traoré, calling him a future global leader. Russia went a step further by supplying Burkina Faso with military equipment, solidifying a new alliance. Today, Burkina Faso is considered a strategic partner of Russia in the region. What sets Ibrahim Traoré apart, and why he's gaining massive popularity among young people across the African continent, is his bold, unapologetic message. He openly states that the Western world has exploited Africa for centuries. Nations from the West have looted Africa's gold, uranium, and other valuable resources for generations. According to Traoré, all of these riches rightfully belong to the African people, and he's determined to reclaim them. Traoré has made it clear, in the future, there will be no more exploitation of the African continent. That message has struck a chord, and it's one of the key reasons his popularity continues to rise across Africa. Since taking office, Traoré has also been an outspoken critic of Israel. He has openly opposed not only Israel, but also nations like the United Kingdom and the United States. His bold leadership has inspired broader resistance, even contributing to South Africa, bringing Israel and its allies before the International Court of Justice. On nearly every global platform, Traoré makes it a point to condemn Israel's actions. But perhaps the most defining moment, the one that captured the attention of Muslims around the world, came when Traoré made a powerful personal statement. He compared himself to Hazrat Bilal al-Habashi, one of the earliest and most respected companions of the Prophet Muhammad. Traoré claimed lineage from Bilal, saying, "I am from the family of Hazrat Bilal. I am his descendant." With that, he sent a message to the global Muslim community. Do not think of yourselves as orphans. You are not alone. Since making that powerful statement about his connection to Hazrat Bilal, Ibrahim Traoré has significantly ramped up efforts to defend his country against rising terrorist threats. He expanded the ranks of Burkina Faso's local defense volunteers, known as VDP, Volunteers for the Defense of the Homeland, to nearly 100,000. He also established a Rapid Response Battalion, or BIR, designed to react swiftly and decisively in crisis situations. Beyond national defense, Traoré has taken active steps to promote unity among African nations. He firmly believes that Africa's strength lies in its solidarity, and he's been pushing for greater cooperation across the continent. A young and charismatic leader, Ibrahim Traoré, has sparked a wave of transformation in Burkina Faso. His policies focus on making the country more self-reliant and secure. However, his leadership hasn't been without criticism. Questions have been raised about democratic values and human rights under his administration, challenges that continue to test his rule. Still, many in Burkina Faso and across Africa see him as a revolutionary figure, a beacon of hope. Some even say his mindset and determination echo the spirit of Salahuddin Ayyubi, the legendary Muslim leader known for his courage and strategic brilliance. For now, only time will tell what kind of leader Ibrahim Traoré ultimately becomes. Will he emerge as a true statesman, a visionary ruler, or follow the path of others before him whose early fame didn't last? History has seen many powerful leaders rise and fall. Saddam Hussein, for example, once commanded global attention, but over time, both his rule and his legacy collapsed. What are your thoughts on Ibrahim Traoré? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this report informative, don't forget to like and share it with others. That's all for this report. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.